Welcome to the Lunar Magic forecast of July. We're still in the middle of eclipse season, so the floodgates of emotions, unprocessed feelings and all of that can be wide open, so expect for more things to coming in. We also have a Capricorn full moon, we have another Cancer new moon, we have Mercury going direct, we also have the Sun making a few harder aspects with Pluto, Saturn and Jupiter. So there's a lot going on that I want to take you on this journey with. So we're going to kick the month off with a full moon lunar eclipse at 13 degrees Capricorn. Now, if you remember from my previous videos, I explained that whenever there is an eclipse, we experience the feeling of that new moon or full moon a little bit later. So it's a little bit drawn out a bit more. So it's a really good time to bring your projects to completion, because Capricorn really is the responsible, the hard worker, can see the details, can understand and also overview everything. So when there's a full moon, it's a really beautiful time to find completion. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to wrap up every single project that you have laying around, but it's a good time to look at how you can make things come to a completion. So not necessarily on this full moon you have to do that, but it's really good to evaluate that. Also, where have you been too hard on yourself? Where have you been pushing yourself too hard? Capricorn it can turn into the workaholic. So really look at where have you been too much of a workaholic, or where have you been able to let go a little bit more. And it's a good time to reassess that and see where you stand. Also, it is good to let go of the control a little bit. A Capricorn likes to keep everything under its wings, and sometimes you have to let go of the control in order for other magic to happen. And if you're too stuck in, I want to control this, I need to know exactly the outcome, that doesn't work, especially in the time we've been through in the past couple of months, the situation that we're all in, we do not have the control. So this is a good time to let go of that feeling of control, because in the end, we never had control in the first place. On July 11th, we have Chiron going into retrograde in Aries until December 15th. Now, Chiron is the wounded healer. And when Chiron goes into retrograde, we're really asked to look deeper into our own wounds. And it's not like a fun practice. It's not something that you sit down on a Sunday afternoon and think, yes, let's just go into my big triggers, my wounds, what hurts the most. But it is work that we have to do. Because if we don't do it, it's like this jack in the box. We're kind of like keep pushing it back, but it keeps popping up. And at times where you least expect it. Now, because Chiron is in Aries, it's much more related to our identity and the way that we present ourselves into the world. So when you're feeling this kind of unsettling time, it is really good to find some spiritual healing and growth in the area of your identity and how you understand yourself. So it's not how you relate to others. This is not how you want to be perceived. This is really about you, about your identity. Separate from what other people think, separate from the labels that have been put on you. Really your identity. And find the healing in that, because like I said, it's the wounded healer. So within those wounds, it can find very, very deep healing. So allow yourself to open yourself up to find that deeper healing. On July 12th, we have a few things going on. We have Mercury stationing direct again in Cancer. So after 2.5 weeks of this introspective energy, Mercury is turning direct again. So there's more of a subtle and gentle energy around your communication. So it's not like you feel like you're going to come out of the gate running, because this Cancer energy is it's a bit more slower. It starts up slower, but it's like this engine that needs to warm up a little bit. So expect that it will take a few days before you actually feel this urge again to keep moving forward. That day, the Sun in Cancer trines Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is in retrograde. So this trine really smoothly supports your creativity and your intuition. This is really beautiful time to go with the flow a lot that day and to really allow yourself to expand in ways where you thought was not possible. On July 14th, we have the first Sun opposition, and this one is with Jupiter in retrograde in Capricorn. So where we have the Sun in Cancer, which is the mother type of energy, and we have Jupiter in Capricorn, which is much more the masculine, the harder, the fatherly type of energy, the more responsible one. So when those two are in opposition, the Sun is your ego. The Sun is your ego. Jupiter is the opportunist, it's like super optimistic. And when those two go against each other, like every opposition is an opportunity for growth, because there is this friction going on. Something needs to happen. Either it goes up or it goes down, but something is happening with this friction. So you choose where this friction is going. You choose whether it goes up or whether it goes down. So it also is a day where Jupiter can be seen in the night skies. So it's going to be the biggest and brightest appearance of this year, because it's as closest to the Earth as it gets for this year. But when this friction happens between your ego, which wants to go to the softer side, and the optimistic is like, let's go, let's do this. Feel into it. Stay away from overindulgence, which is what Jupiter likes to do, and keep it practical. Like, don't overextend yourself on this day. Then the next day we have the Sun opposite Pluto, and just like the opposition yesterday, this is one to move ahead with caution. So every time when there's an opposition, there's also this magnifying glass, and you can see the things that do not work. Now with Pluto likes to transform everything, but your ego is like, no. I'm not comfortable here. Like, I'm gonna stay here. Whereas Pluto is like, let's do this. Let's change things around and let's get everything fired up. So again, this day, slow it down. It's okay if dark emotions arise. They need to be there. They need to be seen. Don't stress yourself out. This is all part of the process. Then on July 20th, we have the new moon at 28 degrees Cancer. And we have two new moons this year because the first one was at 0 degrees. The last one is at 28 degrees. Every zodiac sign has a 30-degree span. So if a new moon falls or a full moon falls very early in the beginnings degrees, then there could be another one. So the second new moon, which usually is a do-over, because we had the solar eclipse new moon, but this one could feel like a do-over, but there is a Sun-Saturn opposition, because today we have the Sun opposite Cancer. So what happens is when Saturn is in retrograde and it's opposite the Sun, it's kind of this trickster that's coming out, that there might be some tests and obstacles on your way that feel difficult, and that's why this new moon is, be cautious. Your intuition is heightened. You will get more intuitive hits. You will get more information, especially because it is in Cancer and it is that sensitive emotion. But with the Sun again opposite Saturn, and Saturn is the bearer of karma. It will show you what is not working, and it doesn't show you in a very gentle way. It's like right in your face. This doesn't work. Do something about it. So this new moon, when you're setting intentions, wait a few days, because when this opposition wanes a little bit, because you don't want to get stuck in that power struggle that the Sun and Saturn are doing on that day. So make sure that you trust the messages that you get from within. Don't push through, and allow yourself to really feel into that. We're gonna end the month on a little bit more of a happier note, that the sun is going to enter Leo. So from the Cancer, the sensitive, the motherly type of energy, we move into the show-stopping Leo. Leo likes to be present, likes the spotlight. It's also about playfulness and creativity. So when Leo season arrives, we can embrace that playfulness in ourselves. We can embrace the creativity, and also enjoy the attention that we get. Especially as women, we tend to shy away from getting too much attention because we don't want to put too much emphasis on ourselves. This is the time to claim and to be visible and to claim your spotlight. So find ways to have fun, to express yourself, to find outlets for your creativity, and just do something for the sake of having fun, not for the sake of it's because of my business or it's because of my family. Do it because you just want to have fun. That wraps up July. If you want to have more information and have a full PDF sheet with this information and even more, click the link below and you can get all the information on the PDF in your inbox at the beginning of every single month, so you can prepare yourself of the month ahead. Especially in the time that we're in right now, it's really good to have some solid foundation which you can build upon and have something to look back at.